20 years ago, that was a different life because that is where I started with Joanna. We met each other in France, in Le Brévière, in a little small place there in the mountains. And I was doing there a season as a chef. I worked in Hotel Le Genépy. And Joanna was a chalet girl. So she was basically I think it was the Chardons, it's called the Chardons or something like that. And we met each other there. She was dancing on a bar thing, and I found that very upstandard. So I thought like, okay, let's approach her. Well, normally you don't do that. At least that is what I hear from her now, that you don't approach a girl when she's dancing on the block. But in the 80s, sorry, 20 years ago, that was not the 80s. But at that time, it was a different time, right? So, the internet just came up a bit, and everything was not so handy as it is now. From that moment, 20 years ago, up until now, 20 years later, we have been in so many countries. Let me tell you a few. So we have started there in France as a chef, and we worked there in the hotel. Then that went over into luxury chalets where I cooked, and Joe did the ski passes and the whole chalet, ins and outs. And then from there, because that was only a winter spot, we needed to have something for the summer. So the summer were for us a bit of a struggle because, what you gonna do as a chef working in the summer? Yeah, you can, but we ended up in Canvas. If nobody knows it, the English people will know it. It's a tent company, and we did that for several seasons there in France. So we went from the north to the south in France, and in that time we actually also had the opportunity to go to the Dominican Republic. Why? Because we are a bit mental, we are a bit crazy, because we had a little bit of money and we thought you know what, we're gonna invest it in an apartment in the Dominican Republic, and we're gonna rent it out, and we think we're gonna be rich. Yay! Not. That was our next step, that we would to the Dominican Republic, and then from that point, our lives completely changed, because there is where I saw the first kite flying in the air. And I was completely hooked when I saw it in Cabarete, when I was going from Sosúa to Cabarete to the beach. I saw the kites flying there, and I thought yes, this is it. So there's where I met Laurel Eastman. And Laurel Eastman was, a former female world champion from kite surfing at that time. Not now anymore, but she has still the kite school there. And I met her, and then I asked her, can I become can I learn this sport? And then she said, yeah, of course. And then obviously she had a school. So we basically did the kite surfing there, because Joe tackled along. It's almost like it had to be like that, right? So we ended up doing the course, and I remember I bought an 11-meter Waru best. Nobody cares anything about it, because if you don't know anything about kite surfing, you would probably not know all of this. However, long story short, we ended up there in the Dominican Republic, and the next 12 years we traveled with kite surfing all around the world. Not because of I wanted to go and to kite everywhere. Yeah, I would like to, but at that time by Laurel Eastman, when I actually had the ability to kite surf, I immediately asked her, can I not work here? And it just had to be like that. So we basically then did the course, and I think 1 month later I was teaching, and I was having the best time of my life. And that took us 12 years further, all over the world, from Greece to Vietnam to Thailand to the craziest spots. We kited and we were teaching. And from that moment onwards, via Vietnam, we started our own kite school, Seabreeze Kite Club. And that took us to Indonesia and to the Philippines. And after that, COVID hit. And after that, we went cycling 4,000 kilometers in Thailand. After the 4,000 kilometer cycling in Thailand, there was obviously a period that we stayed in Cambodia for 5 years. That was in the COVID time, right? And there's where where I basically sold Seabreeze Kite Club just before that COVID period. And in that time, I needed to do something, right? And then I was looking at Joe, and I tried already all night work. And for me, it was not working because I had a completely different background. But I thought, like, okay, yeah, I'm sitting here now, have a computer. Okay, I'm gonna give it one last serious shot. And that was 8 years ago, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still loving it. And I have all the tips, all the tools, all the gear together with Joe to make your life when you're over 50 more easier. And so that's why this channel, this website, what we have, you can click down there and find our website, because it's basically everything that we have been through. It will be covered either on our website or on this channel. So click, subscribe, and have fun. And see you in the next one.